AI Mentors is brought to you by Alldus International, covering your business's staffing, consulting and networking needs. Our podcast, AI Mentors, hosted by Mark Kelly, brings you the leading minds in AI, sharing their story, their success and their advice. Focusing on fast-tracking you to the top, AI Mentors cuts through the hype to help you kickstart your data science career.
Welcome to AI Mentors. I'm your host, Mark Kelly. Today's guest is Michael Krigsman. Michael is an industry analyst, CXO Talk host and keynote speaker. Michael, I'm absolutely delighted to have you on the show today.
Thank you, Mark. I can't wait to talk with you. I'm honored to be here.
Michael, I've had the opportunity to listen to some of your talks, and they're just genuinely just really inspiring in terms of the amount of innovators that you have on board. So many people are so authentic when they're sharing different advice to you and some of the innovations and how they actually drive it across business. Can you tell us a little about CXO Talk and also a little about your background as well?
Well, I'm an industry analyst. I've been doing this, studying enterprise software for a long time. CXO Talk is an opportunity to bring the world's most innovative business and technology leaders together to have an in-depth conversation. I speak with amazing people, and I sure am fortunate to get to do what I do.
And you also do talk forums. What are the talk forums that you do for anyone that's listening to the show?
Well, thanks for asking. CXO Talk forums are, we bring senior executives to your location. We run an event. It's an opportunity to get that executive into your office or your executive briefing center and hear what they have to say, get to meet that person. So it's great. It's great all the way around.
And what I'll do is I'll make sure to put the links on the show, so on the website, so people can actually listen in and stay tuned, because I think you've got, is it over 13 million minutes of CXO video viewed? So people are getting an awful lot of insights from your website, iTunes and YouTube as well. So people can just kind of tackle in to listen to some of that insight straight away. So some of the leaders today in technology, they're trying to drive through innovation internally, driving through innovation externally, and AI is, it's definitely the buzzword of the day. And several leaders now are applying AI within their organization, and you get the opportunity to interview those leaders and see how they actually go about applying it and the benefits to their business as well. What have you learned from interviewing those leaders, and what's your take on AI?
Mark, it's a great question. I think the common thread across the folks I speak with, and these folks really are the most innovative leaders. That's my selection criteria for having them as guests on CXO Talk. The common thread with these folks is they recognize that artificial intelligence as a kind of hype-ridden buzzword in and of itself doesn't have any meaning. It's a set of techniques. Where AI gains value is when you apply it to specific business problems. Let me give you some examples. So I spoke with David Edelman, who's the Chief Marketing Officer of Aetna, and they're using AI to collect data and analyze that data from their members in order to do things like predict what kind of behaviors are going to help your health and what kind of signals or signs, say through wearing Apple Watch, or other wearables, what kind of signals will indicate potential health problems. So that's a very specific application of AI or machine learning techniques to solving a narrow business, or in this case, personal health problem.
And one of the questions that I feel it's really good to ask is, how important is understanding the problem you're trying to solve? Because so many companies say, I want to use AI, I want to try machine learning, I think we can do better. And suddenly they've spent a significant amount of money, they've hired a significant amount of people to join their team, and then they have to manage the team, but they mightn't necessarily understand the clear benefits about why they're actually going on the journey.
Yes, I think this is a very, very crucial point. if you don't understand the problem in any domain of human endeavor, if you don't understand the problem you're trying to solve, then your solutions will be vague and hit or miss, which means the likelihood of converging onto the right solution to solve your specific set of issues, the likelihood is very low unless you understand the issues that you're trying to solve. Another person I interviewed is the chairman of Nokia. His name is Risto Salasma. I'm probably pronouncing his name not quite right. And Risto, even though he's chairman of this company that employs 103,000 people, he said, I don't really understand machine learning, and I need to learn. And so he actually started going back to being a developer, which is how he started his career 30 years ago. And he ended up studying machine learning and creating a course, a video course that now engineers, developers at Nokia all watch in order to really help understand what machine learning is and the types of problems that it's useful for solving within the context of Nokia's business.
It just shows, sorry, Michael, it just shows you the level of extent he went to figuring out that problem, that he could then articulate it back to the company and the culture and just show how seriously he's taking it.
Yes, that's exactly right. That's precisely correct. And it's an excellent example of somebody who recognizes very clearly that the buzzword artificial intelligence doesn't really buy us very. Hey, it may help us sell software, right? But it doesn't buy us much in terms of solving actual problems.
Here at Alldus, we want to make the hiring process easier for all. Whether you're an employer or an aspiring employee, we have the service for you. For full-time work, Alldus will partner with you to find the best person for the position. Using both our network and our rigorous qualification process, we ensure that only the best talent is shortlisted. We will manage the process and work with you to select our most suitable candidate for your organisation. We also offer excellent temp hiring services. At Alldus, we provide a great opportunity to help you and our candidate make the right choice. The contract period is one long interview for your full-time opening, and the extended experience with our consultant helps you make the best decision. Alldus International is here to quickly help you find the best AI candidate. Our experts stay in close contact with our consultants throughout the duration of the contract, ensuring they have everything they need to get the job done.
For those that are listening, I'm speaking to Michael Krigsman. Michael is the talk show host of CXO Talk, which is a very, very popular talk show podcast, and people watch it on video on YouTube. He's an industry analyst, and he's interviewed hundreds of the top innovators across the world. And when you see on the guests that you have on CXO Talk, you can see that the guests are so focused on ultimately trying to add a benefit either internally or externally. So we've seen with the Swedish bank SEB how they used their AI Amelia for internal help desk functions, and then externally used it outside, and they were very focused on that. And then Capital One, for example, about how they allowed customers to use natural language to ask for questions or queries using SMS, or using Alexa to ask questions about your balance or doing different transactions. So really clear on the benefits of why they're actually going on a journey that they were doing. Any other kind of applied innovative AI practices that have improved the bottom line that come to mind?
Well, I mean, I think all of these things that we're talking about, if we go to Capital One, for example, I spoke with a guy named Ken Dodelin, who's the vice president of conversational AI products at Capital One. And as you said, they're trying to adopt AI and natural language processing to make the help desk experience better. And I think that this is really, again, the common thread among the innovators. It's defining a problem, developing a solution, doing a prototype to try it out, proof of concept, see how it goes, make changes, make iterative improvements, and then, if that works, roll it out on a broader scale. And so I think that general process is how innovators work in any domain, including AI.
And one of that probably was you've kind of answered my last question in some ways, because I was asking your advice that you share with companies who are embarking on applying AI, and you've kind of said that, figure out the problem you're going to solve, really kind of have design thinking in terms of empathy about how the different stakeholders that you need to influence and take into consideration when you're going on that journey, and look at it from that kind of business perspective, like what's the bottom line you're looking to try to improve, because it's probably quite a cultural journey for the whole business to move on and change and adapt as well, because for some it's going to need a redevelopment of initial skill sets, and there's also going to need to be a lot of training involved with that as well. Michael, how can people find out a little bit more about yourself and the great work that you're doing at the moment with CXO Talk and the CXO forums?
Oh, well, thank you so much. Go to CXOTalk.com. I think that's the best way.
What I'll do, Michael, I'll put all those links, as I said before, on the website so people can find out a little bit more about yourself. And I genuinely would tell people, if you want to find out what the leading companies are doing with technology and how they're actually improving customer journeys, or even just internally improving processes and procedures, you should go on to CXO Talk. Michael Krigsman, thank you very much for your time today.
Mark, thank you so much. I love what you're doing, and I'm just honored to be here today with you.
Get the Alldus advantage. Become a member of the Alldus community and enjoy some of the following: AI meetups. Once a month, our community gathers to listen to some of the leading experts in the world of data science and AI. Our speakers come from all over the world, including Dublin, Boston, and Frankfurt. We also have our AI mentors. Our experts will provide mentoring to Alldus members. And don't forget our AI in Action podcast. Each week we have guests from all over the world talking us through their education, career, and more. Become an Alldus member and get the Alldus advantage. For more information and to sign up for our newsletter, log on to www.alldus.com. That's www.alldus.com. Alldus International, empowering through AI.